channel. So today I want to go behind the scenes and show you guys how I create my videos from the very beginning to the very end, everything in between, equipment that I use, how you could start a YouTube on a really low budget, and basically any tips and tricks that I have learned throughout the last couple years of me doing YouTube. Okay, the very first thing that I do, and I do this at the beginning of almost every single month, is write out in a calendar every video that I want to post, when I want to film it, anything that I might need to buy for the videos. And I do this every month because it keeps me organized. I know what I need to film, when I need to film it, and it helps me stay consistent, because I feel like if you're not planned, it's really hard to stay consistent on YouTube, and I feel like that is one of the biggest things, is doing that. So I like to plan out at least a month in advance, just so I feel a little bit more organized. I know that I'll have at least 1 to 2 videos a week, and I feel like this has been a game changer, and I've been doing it for probably the last year, and it's been super helpful. So get a calendar, write down every video you want to do for a month. I feel like you don't need to do like 3 months in advance. I feel like that's a little hard to stick to, but I feel like a month you have a pretty good idea of what you want to film. So that is my #1 tip. Another thing that I do before I start filming anything is kind of writing out a script for how I want my video to go. Now this video I actually did write down a script, but I don't do this for all of my videos. Some of it I just really like think in my head on how I want my video to look from the very beginning to the very end, but I feel like you need to have a good idea of what your video will look like before you start filming, because then you might miss things that you wanted to film, some B-roll that you wanted that you forgot about. So just having a really good idea of what your video is going to look like before you even start filming is a huge thing. So like I said, I wrote down a little script on how I wanted this video that you're watching to go. So I wrote down, first you talk about your intro, and then kind of go into some tips and tricks that you have, and then next I'm going to go into showing products that I use. So I kind of have something to look at so that I know that my video is kind of moving along in the way that I wanted it to, and it is super helpful. So that is another tip before you even hit record. Moving on to things that you need to actually create the video. First being something to take a video on, which can be a camera or your cell phone. I honestly use both. Right now I'm using my Canon EOS M6 Mark II, which I am obsessed with. I will link all the products that I use below, so if you guys want to purchase any of them, they'll be right there. And also just your iPhone or whatever type of phone you have can work great. I'll show you later in the video when I actually go behind the scenes how I use this to kind of get different angles, because I don't own multiple cameras, so I use this just to kind of create different angles in my videos. Next are tripods, which aren't necessary, but they're just very helpful and also safer for your camera than stacking up a bunch of books, which I've definitely done. I still do sometimes. But my 2 favorite tripods right now are this little handy one that I use a lot when I'm vlogging, and it's just this little kind of handheld one that I got on Amazon. I think it was less than like $20. And then for bigger shots, or when I need like just more height or anything like that, I use my Canon tripod that I really like. I've had it for probably over 5 years and it's still in perfect condition, so I would recommend that one. Another thing that I love to have are extra batteries, because there's nothing worse than when you're filming a video and halfway through you start getting that little red blinking, and then you have to like pause in the center or in the middle of the video, and it just sucks. So I just recently purchased these on Amazon and I really like them. It actually comes with 2, but I'm using one right now. So I always have at least 2 battery packs that are charged and ready to go. So if my camera battery is low, I'll have something to plug in really quick and we can keep rolling and not have to start or wait for a battery to charge, because it is so annoying. Another thing I like to have are a couple extra memory cards. These are really inexpensive off Amazon, and I just keep a couple around because sometimes they fill up and you don't want to delete footage, and it's just kind of a pain if that happens. So I like to keep a couple of these around just to have. You don't need a ton, and obviously the extra batteries and these extra things are not things you need to film a video, but just helpful and things that I've learned in the last couple years that really do help and eliminate any stress that you might have. Another thing that I have, but I don't use for all of my videos, is a gimbal, which is kind of a handheld little device that creates really smooth shots for your video. I feel like it does really like bring your videos to another level, but not necessary. But I did want to talk about it because they are pretty cool, and if you're looking to get like a really good smooth shot, that is what you would need. It just helps like balance out your camera, and they are pretty cool, but like I said, not necessary to create a really good video. The last thing I think that is crucial to having a good video is good lighting, which I just feel like having good lighting in your video is such a game changer. It just kind of ups the quality and just looks so much better than filming in a dark room. So I actually prefer to use natural light over anything. I have a ring light, but I honestly try to avoid using it. I like to just sit in a really bright room like I am right now with no extra lighting. It's all natural. But of course, that's not always how things go. Sometimes you need to have extra lighting to make things look better, especially in Minnesota. It gets dark super early in the winter. So when I'm like vlogging and doing videos then, I do end up using my ring light a little bit more. But if I can, I prefer natural lighting over anything. So just sit closer to windows in your house. And I just feel like that is like a total game changer to having a good video. Okay, now that you know everything that you would need to create a video, I'm basically gonna walk you guys through how I filmed a get ready with me video. So it's a very basic video, but I wanted to show you guys how I do my setups, how I do B-roll, my thumbnails, just the whole process that I go through every single time I film a video. So let's jump into the behind the scenes. That's probably why you guys are here, so here we go. Alright, we're going way behind the scenes. Clearly I have no makeup on right now because I'm about to sit down and film a get ready with me. So I'm gonna basically sit down and do my makeup in front of the camera and kind of talk about products that I use every day. So obviously my setup is different for whatever video I'm filming, but I would say these kind of sit down videos are probably the most common that I film. Obviously if things are in the kitchen or vlogs or like a DIY project is all different, but today we're doing kind of a sit down video. So I wanted to show you guys how I set that up. This is the setup that I have right now. It's a very simple setup. When you can use natural light, it's so much easier, and I really do love what it looks like versus a ring light. So right now I'm just kind of posted up in front of this window. I have all of my makeup that I'm going to need for the video so that when I am ready to start filming, I don't have to like get up and be interrupted or anything like that. So I'm just using my Canon tripod, and I have that all set up, a mirror, so when I'm doing my makeup I try to keep it as close to the tripod as I can so that I'm not completely like looking away from the lens. So this is all I need for the main part of the video, and then later on we're gonna have to do B-roll of all of this makeup, which I will show you guys in a little bit. But yeah, this is basically the setup for a get ready with me kind of sit down video. So I'm gonna start filming and I'll check in with you guys once I'm done. Okay, so I have a fresh face. I already put on all my moisturizers and my serums. So now I'm going to start with my primer, which is my Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer in Blurring, which is my favorite thing ever. Make sure that you're subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! Okay, so I just finished recording my get ready with me video, and now I'm gonna do my thumbnail, which is gonna be really fun for you guys to watch and really awkward for me to film, but it's the reality of things. You need to have a good thumbnail. I feel like that is one of the biggest things about having a successful video, is having a really good thumbnail so that people want to click on your video. So I basically just keep my camera rolling and take a couple different options. So I'm basically just recording, but then when I bring it in to edit it, I will screenshot parts of this part that I'm going to film and then use that for my thumbnail. So I'm going to do a couple options just so that later when I go to edit, I'm not stuck with just one option and I get to kind of choose which one I think looks better. So this is about my face, so I'm going to make sure that my skin looks really good and then hold up some like makeup products and stuff just so that it makes sense for the title of the video. So here we go. Enjoy this very awkward moment. I told you guys, awkward. Okay, and that is how I get a thumbnail. Otherwise, if I don't use my camera, I will just take pictures on my phone and kind of make a collage to do that. So, all right, next. Now that I am done filming the main part of the video, I'm going to go ahead and film B-roll, which is kind of any sort of video that will overlay on top of the main video, or like a close-up shot of something. So since I'm talking about makeup in the video that I'm referring to, I want to do close-ups of all the product that I use so that people that are watching it can really see what it looks like, and if they want to go buy it, they'll know what the product looks like. And I just think it is more like interesting to look at than just like a solid video of me talking and doing my makeup. So I feel like B-roll is really important, and I like it when people do it, so I also like to do it in my videos. So I'll show you guys a few tips on how to get B-roll and just like how I do it. Here's where I chose to do my B-roll for today. I feel like there's a couple things that you want when you're choosing a spot to do this. Obviously really good lighting is, I would say, number one, and number two is finding a background that is pretty neutral and subtle, but also just adds a little interest to the clip. So I chose here, I'm going to put up my tripod, and then I have this really pretty pampas grass, which is like neutral. I was going to say natural, it's that too, but neutral. You hold up your product in front of it, so that's the main focus, but then there's still something of interest in the background and not just like a plain white wall, which is fine too, but this is just a preference of mine. I like to use something in the background, just like I said, to add a little interest to the clip. So I'm basically going to take every product and hold it up in front of this pampas grass, which you can see is just like so pretty, and I'm gonna film little B-roll for every product that I use. So I have everything set up here. I have my first product that I'm gonna show. So I basically will flip up my screen so I can see. Otherwise you can just stand behind your camera too if you don't have a flip up screen. Kind of center it within the shot. And I like to hold it out from whatever it's in front of, just so that it focuses on this. And I basically will just kind of slowly rotate it just to add a little interest, get that shot, and then I'll like open it up to show the actual product. Mirrors are a little tricky because you don't want to show the camera, but basically just get a couple shots of each product so that when you're editing you have a couple things to choose from. So that is basically how I do B-roll. I feel like it just kind of levels up your video a little bit, makes it look a little bit more professional, more interesting, and I really like it. So that's how you do B-roll, or at least that's how I do it. And yeah. Okay, now that we have all the footage that we need, we basically have our main footage, our B-roll, our thumbnail shots, which was so awkward to share with you guys, but I wanted to be real and transparent on how I get those. We are ready to start editing, which I will put into my computer. I use iMovie to edit right now, and I always have. I am thinking about learning another program, but as of right now, iMovie is what I use, which comes free with any Apple product that you could have. So that is a good option if you don't want to spend a ton of money. And then I will upload it to YouTube and share it with you guys. So that is kind of the process I go through every video that I film. Obviously some are different than others because not all videos obviously are set up the same, but this gives you guys a good idea of the process I go through. And yeah, if you guys have any questions on products that I use or just generally how I film, please don't be afraid to ask questions in the comments below. I love talking to you guys down there. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!